Today, a number of documents were released in the case of Jeffrey Epstein. There were no major revelations, and there are unlikely to be any. Epstein was only arrested due to the efforts of the Miami Herald and independent journalist Mike Cernovich. The following is taken from a post Cernovich made on X, in which he explains why Epstein's case was and continues to be a cover-up. In 2017, my lawyer Mark Randazza found a wonky freedom of the press case. There was a defamation case, and although Jeffrey Epstein wasn't named as a defendant, the case was central to some conspiracy theories. Mark asked me if I wanted to file a motion to intervene. We expected it to be a simple matter. Media interest was almost zero. No one in the free press cared. Then Trump nominated Alexander Acosta to the Secretary of Labor. Acosta had handled the original Epstein criminal case and said Epstein was given kid gloves treatments due to protection from the intelligence community. Epstein was an asset of the FBI. What his exact relation was remains sealed. By 2019, the case I sought to intervene in had an orange man bad angle because Acosta was Trump's labor secretary. Even if the motives were impure, at least we were on to the races. Hundreds of thousands of dollars later, a trip to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals and a lot of fighting, we had a batch of documents ready to be unsealed. The weekend before the documents were made public, SDNY arrested Epstein quietly when he landed his private jet on an airport from a trip he took in France. No perp walk for Epstein. In 2019, I wrote the following after a press conference was held re Epstein's arrest. Why didn't the SNDY charge Jeffrey Epstein under the Mann Act? Under the Mann Act, it's unlawful to transport an underage girl through interstate travel, including on an airplane. In a widely publicized press conference, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York announced sex trafficking charges against Jeff Epstein. The indictment against Epstein does not charge anyone except Epstein, and there's nothing to indicate that anyone who flew to Epstein's private island has faced scrutiny. The SDNY's actions have all of the telltale signs of containment, because the Miami Herald and Cernovich won a civil lawsuit leading to over 2,000 records being unsealed. It's simply impossible for the same feds who gave Epstein a pass years ago to continue to cover up. The SDNY could have charged Epstein in 2002, 2003, 2004, or at any time until today. Yet they did not file charges until the Second Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that previously sealed records involving Jeff Epstein would become public record. Thus they are charging him without implicating anyone else who assisted with his operation. You know what happened next. Epstein committed suicide. Because SDNY charged the lowest level offenses possible, they lacked jurisdiction to raid Epstein's island in Little St. James, as well as his New Mexico and Paris properties. Those houses were left unattended for a couple of weeks. During that time, a safe went missing. During the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, it was reported, evidence from Jeffrey Epstein's safe went missing after FBI raid. What was in the safe, we'll never know for certain. We do know that the FBI has Jeffrey Epstein's blackmail files. The real Jeffrey Epstein files are the blackmail material. Very powerful forces have made sure we will never see it.
All you have to do is show people the facts. Jeffrey Epstein had everything wired. Fact. Jeffrey Epstein, in these indictments that were later revealed, had videotapes of people engaged in sexual conduct. That's just a fact. This isn't, we're not even at the theory point. We're not even at that maybe he could be this other thing. Fact, there is a huge vault in his island in Little St. James containing information that he would not let anyone else near. That's a fact. The vault's kind of disappeared from public consciousness. People don't really talk about it, but you can go find all the information like that. Fact, I don't care how rich you are, you don't get away with the kind of things that he gets away with.
Right.
It's literally just not how the system has worked. So when you say, okay, so he had videos of people
In compromising situations.
I mean,
that's
a whole
blackmail.
vault of stuff.
Right.
He gets away with things that he shouldn't get away with. Alexander Acosta says this was way over my head.
Negotiating. It's
You're not
negotiating
jumping.
power.
Yeah, you're not jumping across the Grand Canyon to be
Right.
like, the FBI, the CIA did it, right?
Right,
This
right.
isn't that much of an inferential leap. You realize it had to have been some kind of intelligence thing. Now, a lot of people want to go, oh, Mossad, because Mossad's this like boogeyman. And I was like, well, our own CIA wouldn't be on this too?
Right, yeah.
Right? That's so dumb.
Right.
Is that people, because everybody's like, Mossad. It's like,
Yeah.
you don't even know Mossad. Mossad is the thing that you know exists. So if we make a really even bigger jump, I would say that Epstein was with the black ops stuff that like we don't even have a name
Right.
for.
Yeah.
It's not the CIA. It's not the whatever. It's just some thing that
Yeah.
we're not even allowed to really know about
Right.
because nothing else really makes sense within the context of how the case went.
Right.
And even when they charged him, for example, the SDNY charged him, it was a very narrow set of charges. They charged him with getting massages from girls for hundreds of dollars. And so I'm reading this. I go to this press conference, SDNY press conference. The United States Attorney Berman's up there. We have Jeffrey Epstein, and he's really trying to put on this tough guy act. And then
As
I'm
if
like,
they were trying to get him,
Right.
and not that they were forced to
Right.
basically
Not
get
that-
him because
yeah.
of this filing.
yeah, because of Julie Brown and me.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I'm a lawyer. I'll just read the indictment, and I'm waiting for the goods. I'm waiting for the juicy stuff. I'm waiting for he flew people internationally, Mann Act violation, human trafficking. No. He paid underage girls, 15 and 16-year-old girls, to give him a massage. And I'm like, wow, so when I read that, I said, this is a scam.